Everyone has a different story going in. I think a lot of them are similar. Like, I started my sophomore year, where my freshman year was nice, it was great, but I didn't really meet that many new people, and I think I was kind of, I didn't know where I fit in, I guess. And I think a lot of people that come into the game are like that, where, like, you start playing because this is an interesting game, and, it's Quidditch, why the hell not, but...
Wait a minute. Quidditch? That's the sport from Harry Potter, isn't it? With the flying brooms and the golden snitch, and of course Harry Potter himself is Seeker. There's no possible way we could play that in real life. Well, I think it's time I crack open the books and refresh myself. In Quidditch, there are 7 players on each team. 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper, and 1 seeker. Chasers pass the quaffle, which they can throw through any of 3 hoops on the opposing team's side, which scores them 10 points. Keepers defend these hoops from opposing chasers. The beaters deal with bludgers, which are somewhat sentient objects programmed to attack players. Beaters use bats to defend their team from bludgers, while also trying to hit them towards the opposing team. The seeker, of course, tries to catch the golden snitch, which will score them 150 points, effectively winning the game. Oh yeah, and they're all flying on magic brooms. So how on earth does that translate to the real world?
We don't fly around in this one. We take some liberties. Originally, players would use actual brooms, and people used to wear capes, I think, playing the game. So it had none of that. That hasn't been around for a while, as I understand it. So I think it used to have more of a, almost like, more fantasy to it. But as it's become more competitive, some of that has been kind of stripped away. Like, there are a lot more rules governing play now, and I think players expect that of it. But I think on top of all of that, there's still an element of fantasy sitting there. Like, we're playing Quidditch.
And Nolan showed me exactly what the Muggles version of Quidditch is. The team still consists of 7 players, which includes 3 chasers, 2 beaters, 1 keeper, and 1 seeker. Chasers are probably most similar to their fantasy counterparts. They pass the quaffle, represented here as a volleyball, and try to score it in one of 3 hoops for 10 points. Not surprisingly, the keeper then defends their hoops from the chasers. Beaters, which is the position Nolan plays, utilize a sort of dodgeball mechanic. They throw bludgers, represented here as a kickball, at opposing players. If hit, a player must drop whatever they are holding, then return to their side to resume play. Seekers essentially play a modified game of flag football. Late in the game, a snitch is released, a third-party player dressed in yellow to resemble the famous golden snitch. They sport some sort of cloth or a sock and tennis ball, as we've shown here, which seekers try to grab to end the game and score 30 points. And in true Harry Potter spirit, all players are required to keep a broom, or in this case a PVC pipe, between their legs at all times.
It's easy enough to pick up, sort of, the very basics in terms of just what's happening on the field. Keeping track of everything is, I think, the hardest part for new players, just because there are so many positions, there are literally so many balls, like there's so much happening on the field at any given time. Like, it's hard to keep track of in your mind, and that's still something experienced players struggle with. But I think once you get past that sort of first learning curve, you learn more about your exclusive position and some of the more, intricacies of the game. And I feel like it's something you're always still learning, though. Like, no one truly knows it all. When I tell people, I have to be careful when I tell people I play Quidditch, because the response is either, "Oh, you play Quidditch? That's so cool. Tell me about this," or, "Oh, that's cool." And, you can imagine how that goes. Family's always really interested to hear it. They're always surprised to hear it, and they want to, have me explain the game to them, how it works, how we work as a team. And I think a lot of people are very interested to hear about that too. I feel like that's one thing where you might expect there to be sort of a stigma, like, "Oh, you guys are running around on brooms like some kind of nerds or something," but no, I think it's a genuinely interesting game with genuinely interesting people, and I think a lot of people pick up on that, and they're just curious. Like, they'll ask, "How does the snitch work?" Or, "Do you guys fly?" Like, you get that one a lot. That's real fun. But, I think most people are very curious to hear more, and yeah, it's something you can brag about, I think, a little bit, show off a little bit, but yeah, people are receptive to it.
It's still not quite at the level of sports like football and baseball, but I think Quidditch does have a promising and exciting future. And for people like Nolan, Quidditch is about far more than popularity.
When I came into the team, I was, I had a rough freshman year, and so I was excited to try something new, and I told myself, you should try something new. So Quidditch was one of the things I tried, and it took some getting out of my comfort zone to start sticking around. I remember standing across the field, looking at the team and thinking, is this something I want to do? I committed to it. I'm happy I did. But anyway, I think it's taught me to come out of my shell a little more, to be just a little more friendly to people, a little more open with people, open to trying new things. I was really concerned about, really nervous about making friends and things and meeting new people. And now I can say these are some of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. So I think it's, everyone has their Quidditch or, whatever that thing is. But yeah, I'm really happy I've been able to play with them and get to know these people, because right now I can't imagine life without them.